Today is the calm before whatever's coming overnight and into tomorrow, and it all depends on the temperature and the wind. Kevin.
So critical, Alan, because a couple degrees will make all the difference, whether it's all rain or a mixture of rain, then freezing rain. It's got to do with that temperature, the atmospheric profile. And right now it's above freezing for tomorrow morning, several thousand feet above the ground, sub-freezing near the ground. That's freezing rain, and that can be a real problem. Right now it looks like the highest probability for accumulating ice will be around Minot, not too far from Bismarck, into the southern James River Valley. Jamestown could see quite a coating of ice in the rest of southeast North Dakota. So just any coating at all, a tenth or rather a hundredth of an inch or more, very likely. In fact, a high probability somewhere near Minot toward Rugby. Let's expand the view here. Again, from Minot along the US 2 corridor down to Jamestown, we could have some pockets between a tenth and a quarter of an inch. Now, this would be a real problem if we have all of our rain early tomorrow morning fall as freezing rain, a quarter of an inch. That could be problematic. We might have power outages with that because all that ice wouldn't have a chance to melt away prior to the arrival of the high winds coming mid to late morning. Look at all the advisories we've got for the northern plains, upper Midwest. Of course, we've got slippery travel expected here with high wind warnings and winter weather advisories. We've got a winter weather advisory first starting late tonight in Montana and then for most of the morning time frame in central and western North Dakota because of the freezing rain potential. But then around that, we've got the high wind warning, which kicks in by mid to late morning through tomorrow night. Again, we're looking at gusts around 65. I think we could have a few places where winds might be up to 70 miles per hour. That's really something outside of thunderstorms, which of course we don't have for this go around. And a winter storm warning for northeast North Dakota, adjacent northwest Minnesota, even blizzard conditions a possibility from Devils Lake, Pembina County, also down toward Grand Forks and between Grand Forks and Fargo. A lot going on, Alan. Hour by hour forecast a little bit later on.
Thanks. Well, if it was just snow, it might be a little easier to deal with.
That is so true. Unfortunately, again, it all comes down to that dynamic atmospheric temperature profile, again, sub-freezing at the surface. Our low, the infamous Alberta Clipper, is taking shape. Of course, in Alberta, leeward slopes of the Rocky Mountains, surface low is forming. That's going to move in our direction, and that pressure gradient's really going to tighten and ramp up later on tonight through tomorrow, giving us the high wind. Not a lot going on this evening. We've got the cloudy skies, maybe a little bit of moisture in eastern Montana, likely not reaching the ground. That's going to change, though, quickly after midnight as the atmosphere begins to saturate. 40 in Dickinson, but up the road, Williston, sub-freezing, 27 degrees. So, again, some of those lower-lying locations are already well below freezing, like Minot, 23, but still a mild above freezing 36 in Bismarck, Mandan. Mobridge as well, Hettinger as well, 35 in Dickinson. Still teens in eastern North Dakota where that cold air is a lot deeper throughout the atmosphere. We've got the west winds. That's why we're scouring out some of that leftover Arctic air. It will return soon enough, but the winds are going to be the big story here for tomorrow. 8 o'clock, not so much for Bismarck, but look at that, already near 40-mile-per-hour winds at 8 o'clock Mountain Time in Dickinson. By noon, we'll have winds howling over 50 miles per hour for many places, and again, touching on 60 for many by 5 and 6 o'clock late tomorrow afternoon and early evening. Temperatures early on prior to really rising above freezing. Again, near freezing in Bismarck. That's why it could be a freezing rain issue. Dickinson, 39, 8 o'clock in the morning Mountain Time. We're not going to have freezing rain here in the Queen City like we will farther toward the east. And let me show you what it's going to be like later on by late afternoon and early evening. Sliding below freezing, and this is where it's going to become more problematic. Not with freezing rain, because that will have already ended by several hours. It's the flash freeze potential, because whatever water we have could quickly ice up, because just after sunset, we're looking at those temperatures falling off rapidly below freezing. So what is a flash freeze? It's a possibility, not everywhere, but with our midday highs in the 30s to even mid-40s, our temperatures dropping quickly here. By the time we get to sunset and into the evening, we're looking at teens and 20s. So again, wet surfaces might freeze very quickly. Watch the band of moisture increasing here. 3 o'clock snapshot Central Time prior to sunrise here for our Tuesday morning. Rain Yeah, rain. So above, several thousand feet above the ground, the temperature is above freezing, falling into a layer that's sub-freezing. That's why it's freezing rain. Could be more problematic where that cold air is a lot deeper near the surface. That's why it might be an issue for Minot along the US 2 corridor, or 52 corridor, all the way down toward Jamestown. Turtle Mountains, probably all snow, slightly higher elevations. But again, a lot of rain potential near freezing here, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Just some leftover showers here by 10 o'clock. But by then, we should all be above freezing. That is until you get toward Jamestown, it'll be near freezing. And that's why it's more problematic for the James and Red River valleys. 3 o'clock, we get a break in the precipitation. We're above freezing. Watch what happens as we pull in that colder air behind the clipper. The very high winds kick in and temperatures fall off. So we might have a blowing snow problem over northern and eastern North Dakota, even a chance for blizzard conditions along too between, let's say, Devil's Lake and Grand Forks by tomorrow evening. Look at these temperatures really dropping off by tomorrow evening. It's a weather whiplash, that's for sure. And again, there's that band of rain, freezing rain and snow advancing through the region here for our Tuesday morning commute. The week ahead, it's an active one, that's for sure. Falling temps. In fact, we stay sub-zero for highs by Friday.
I won't say scare, I'll just say prepare.
That's right.
Each of the guys warned against black ice in the case of another refreeze. Is that something we got to worry about, Kevin?
Thank you. Exactly, Ariana. I'm concerned about that now that we are beyond sunset and we're going to see some of that black ice, not a flash freeze where it happens all at once, but over the course of the next several hours. North Dakota road conditions, again, now that we are seeing those temps drop off from north to south, conditions are going to get worse. And actually a new update, northeast North Dakota, several areas with no travel advised, but not so much here in our viewing area. This was the scene earlier today. Again, courtesy of North Dakota Highway Patrol. Hats off to our law enforcement agencies for getting out there and all the work crews here. This was 83 northbound earlier today, where a section of 83 was closed because of this glare ice. It was thick, at times like a mirror image, and this from the Apple Creek Arrest area, I-94 eastbound. Again, we had semis jackknife. You can see the ice here on Highway 52 all over North Dakota earlier today. Another jackknife here, I-94 westbound east of Bismarck from earlier this morning. As Ariana mentioned, conditions have improved greatly, but now a chance for some black ice into the night. We have light snow in Minot, 21 degrees, still well above freezing in Bismarck at 36. But again, some of those surface features might be below freezing and therefore be the first to ice over, especially bridges and overpasses. Keep that in mind. And the wind is not going to subside for a while. In fact, I think it's going to increase a bit the next few hours here as cold air moves in from the north. Look at that, 59-mile-per-hour winds in Garrison over the past 20 minutes. Williston, 55, almost 50-mile-per-hour winds in the Bismarck-Mandan area. Checking in on Minot, where we are now at 21 degrees. Northwest winds not too strong here yet. They will be increasing over the next several hours, around 30 miles per hour, but we do have pockets of light snow, again, on the backside of this cyclone, this Alberta Clipper, which is now on top of Fargo, but the bands of snow still coming in from Canada toward North Dakota, reduced visibility, especially into northeast North Dakota. A lot more coming up a little bit later.
Well, after a brief recovery, we now have to brace ourselves for some very cold weather.
That's right. The Arctic zone returns by Friday into the weekend. Updated North Dakota road conditions, though, again, painting some red here over northeast North Dakota, where no travel is advised for many areas between Devil's Lake and Grand Forks to north of Fargo. The rest of us, it's a mixed potpourri, ice and snow, wet, slush, good conditions back into southwest North Dakota, but the real problematic areas here right now, portions of north central and northeast North Dakota. Travel alert surrounding that, simply meaning allow extra time here over southern and eastern North Dakota because we've got snow, blowing snow, even that chance for black ice. That'll be ramping up too because our surface temperatures continue on the decline here. We're going to be dropping through the teens into the single digits perhaps for some areas across the north after 2 a.m. It's going to be a cold morning again for our Wednesday morning. And the wind, of course, is very strong right now. We've had some recent gusts here the past 20 minutes around that 60-mile-per-hour mark, as an overall western North Dakota average around 50 to 55-mile-per-hour winds can be expected here, not really backing off until we get to the middle of the night. After midnight, slowly subsiding winds. But again, this is a powerful Alberta clipper. Look at all the states with high wind warnings going through the evening here. And again, including Montana into North Dakota throughout the evening time frame. As mentioned, those gusts perhaps up to 65 miles per hour, and various expiration times for the winter weather advisory. Eastern North Dakota later tonight, but a new one for tomorrow night into Thursday. Montana into western North Dakota as periods of snow will once again make a return with the next system coming down the line, and that might come with some freezing rain and sleet as well. And again, as far as tonight into tomorrow, it's where we have that no travel advised winter storm warning northeast North Dakota into many areas of northern Minnesota. Then our attention is going to be focused on Wednesday night and Thursday with the next system, and unfortunately another coating of ice. May not be as problematic in as many places, but again, just a light drizzle of freezing drizzle and perhaps sleet could be a problem here, in a likely category of having at least a coating around the Williston area through Dickinson, even Bismarck-Mandan, and especially high probably in southwest North Dakota and northwest South Dakota. Snow chances also ramping up here with a western North Dakota average of 60, 70, at times 80% chance, again, between tomorrow night through Thursday night. When you add it all up, looking at the snow forecast here, more toward Montana, but an average of 1 to 4 inches, depending on, we could see some pockets maybe in excess of 5 inches of snow by Thursday night. It's a possibility, but overall, I think the highest totals will be in Montana. 1 to 4 is an average throughout most of North Dakota. This is the setup again with that freeze possible going into the night with some black ice, the blowing snow, but high pressure moving in. This is good because it means a lot less wind for tomorrow, but it does drive in those colder temperatures in the single digits here by the morning time frame. Teens and 20s, albeit briefly, for tomorrow later into the afternoon, with another warm front providing another chance for snow and freezing rain, and yet even more for Thursday afternoon through Montana into western North Dakota, sweeping statewide west to east as we get through Thursday night. This one pulls in the true Arctic air with sub-zero cold by Friday morning. Wind chills could be down into the teens, 20s, maybe touching on the 30s below zero. It's a wild ride. You got to hang on here. Look at that 7-day forecast all over the place here. And again, a few places above freezing Thursday, like Dickinson at 35. Average just below freezing, though. But again, freezing rain, sleet, snow, wind chills. Oh, yeah, and then a mild day. But that's next Tuesday.
Are we having fun yet?
Yes, we are.
All right.